Let's rank the stability of the molecules H2, H2+, and H2-. We can approach this question by looking at molecular orbital theory, and we can start by drawing out the molecular orbital diagram for the H2 molecule. For H2, two 1s atomic orbitals at the same energy level will combine to make two molecular orbitals, one that is higher in energy and the other that is lower in energy. The one that is lower in energy is a bonding molecular orbital called the sigma 1s molecular orbital, and the one that is higher in energy is an antibonding molecular orbital called the sigma 1s star antibonding molecular orbital. Because each hydrogen atom has one valence electron, we can fill this into each 1s orbital, and then these two electrons will fall into this bonding molecular orbital here that is lowest in energy and completely fill it up. And this is your completed molecular orbital diagram for H2. In order to deduce its stability, we need to calculate the bond order of H2. The bond order tells us the stability and the strength of a bond. It is equal to 1/2 times the number of bonding electrons, which are found in the sigma 1s bonding molecular orbital, minus the number of antibonding electrons, which are found in the higher energy sigma 1s star antibonding molecular orbital. For H2, the bond order is equal to 1/2 times the number of bonding electrons, of which there's 2, minus the number of antibonding electrons, of which there's none. So for the H2 molecule, the bond order is equal to 1. A bond order of 1 correlates to a single bond that exists between the two hydrogen atoms in the H2 molecule. So we'll start making a list here of bond orders. So for hydrogen, the bond order is equal to 1. Or for our H2 molecule, the bond order equals 1. Okay, so that can be our first entry into our chart. And now let's look at H2-. So for H2-, we need to make one of these hydrogen atoms, it doesn't matter which, an anion. Let's choose the one on the left. So because we make this an anion, we need to add a second electron into the atomic orbitals. And because we have a second electron here, we need to also add another electron into our molecular orbitals, and we'll place it in the sigma 1s star antibonding molecular orbital because it is currently empty, and it's the next place we need to fill up with electrons. So now let's calculate the bond order for H2-. Remember, the bond order is equal to 1/2 times the number of bonding electrons minus the number of antibonding electrons. So for H2-, it's equal to 1/2 times the number of bonding electrons, of which there's 2, minus the number of antibonding electrons, of which there's 1. So 2 minus 1 equals 1, and 1 times 1/2 equals 1/2, showing us that half of a single bond exists between the hydrogen atoms in the H2- molecule. So we can say H2-. I'm actually going to replace these colons with equal signs. H2- has a bond order of 1/2. And now, finally, let's calculate the bond order for H2+. So for H2+, the cation, we need to make one of these hydrogen atoms a cation. So we'll choose the one on the left again, and that means we're going to take away this electron in the atomic orbital. Okay, so the electron on the right stays the same, and now we need to adjust our molecular orbitals. We can get rid of the electron on the top that came from our anion, and we need to get rid of one electron on the bottom. So we can see that this electron here clearly fell into this bonding molecular orbital, consistent with our H2 plus molecule, and there was no contribution of electrons from this left-hand side atomic orbital. And so with this molecular orbital diagram for H2 plus, let's find the bond order. The bond order will equal 1/2 times the bonding electrons of 1 minus the number of antibonding electrons of none. So 1 times 0 is equal to 1, and 1 times 1/2 equals 1/2, showing us that the bond order for H2 plus is equal to 1/2. So there's our completed chart showing us the bond orders, which again is a direct measure of the stability and strength of a bond. So using this information, we can now make a ranking. So I'm going to erase our molecular orbital diagram here so we have room for a ranking. Okay, so immediately we can see that H2, the diatomic hydrogen molecule, has the highest bond order, which tells us that it has the most stable bond, as it has a full single bond present. So we can place this at the top of our ranking. Okay. Next, which is more stable, H2 plus or H2 minus? It turns out that although they have the same bond order, we can still tell which one is more stable than the other. We can do this by again thinking about their molecular orbital diagram. Remember that H2 minus had an extra electron in the antibonding molecular orbital, while H2 plus had no electrons in its antibonding molecular orbital. Because there was an electron in the antibonding molecular orbital, this requires an input of extra energy, which destabilizes any potential H2 minus molecule. This means that H2 minus will ultimately be less stable than H2 plus. So we can place H2 minus at the bottom of our ranking and H2 plus in the center. We can also think about this side of the ranking by thinking about the number of electrons present in each pair. Adding extra electrons typically causes more repulsions between the electrons, which further adds to destabilization. And we can see that H2 minus has more electrons than H2 plus. So because of this, it will again be shown that it has the least stability out of these three. So here we have our final ranking of the stability of these three molecules. H2 plus was shown to be the most stable, while H2 minus is the least stable. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.